Thanks for watching the Anabolic Men channel, where we bring you 100% research-backed men's health advice. Now today I actually want to talk to you about something that's near and dear to my heart and that I've been really an enthusiast of and very, very interested in for several years now, about 4 or 5 years now, and it's known as nootropics. And it's basically, in my opinion, the secret of that 1% of high performers that most people actually don't know about. So what is a nootropic, you're probably wondering? It's a weird word. When I first heard it, I really didn't know how to even spell it correctly. But when I found out and really dug into the research behind what nootropics are, I was very impressed. Because nootropics are actually, to even be defined as a nootropic, it must be a neuroprotective compound. So even, whether it's synthetic or a natural compound, which there are certain herbs, there are synthetic nootropics, there are certain compounds, basically that are all classed in this category, but they all have to be neuroprotective. So they're actually good for your brain. They strengthen synaptic connections. So I've been using nootropics. I've used almost every kind of nootropic under the sun over the last few years. And I want to just tell you about a few of my favorites today in this video, because I know a lot of people are very curious about them. They've become more popular in recent years, especially after the movie Limitless came out, where he took NZT and it changed his life. Had this more vivid imagination and vivid analytical skills. I'm going to tell you that there's really nothing like NZT in terms of that sheer amount of power. There's a lot of Hollywood added into that movie, obviously, a little over dramatized, but it was a cool movie. However, there are a ton of compounds out there that you can use that will increase your performance. They'll increase your memory recall, both short-term and long-term memory. They'll increase your ability to learn quickly, and they'll also increase your focus. And you can, like I said, do this either naturally or synthetically, but even the synthetic nootropics actually have neuroprotective qualities. Now, let's talk about a few of my favorites. First, I'll talk about 1 or 2 of my favorite synthetic ones, and then I'll talk about my favorite natural ones. So synthetic-wise, the best nootropic to start trying stuff out with is actually piracetam. Now, piracetam is basically the godfather of nootropics in terms of synthetic nootropics, and it was founded back in the 60s, I think, and then didn't really start being used till the 80s, and then now it's very, very popular, but they have a bunch of derivatives of it that are actually far stronger than it. However, piracetam is kind of the go-to good nootropic to use if you're curious, because it isn't super strong. It just give you a good focus, but it's not going to kick you in the face. However, I want you to know that if you take any of the racetams, which are all good, I would recommend trying them out if you're curious. However, to stay safe with them, basically what they do in your brain is they're going to usurp your brain of its natural choline. So you want to supplement also with choline. Choline bitartrate is one of the easiest, cheapest sources of choline to get. It also is pretty bioavailable. It's good. So I recommend using something like choline bitartrate or alpha GPC or CDP choline, or citicholine. So you want to make sure you have those in combination, because then you're not going to be pulling on your brain's actual choline resources, and you'll be still have enough choline in your brain, so you're not deficient in choline. Now, in terms of my favorite natural nootropics, I have 2 different types. So first off, I like adaptogens a lot. Now, adaptogenic herbs do have a nootropic effect, especially if you also take them with some choline. Now, choline overall, just take choline. Most people are deficient in choline. You should take it anyway. If you take in like 1 gram to 2 grams, you're going to have a good effect, a good nootropic effect. But with the adaptogens, what they do is they actively work against stress levels in your body. They fight stress in your body. So what people find is that stress and high cortisol levels can actually cause brain fog, and they can cause issues with memory and focus and that sort of thing. So when they lower their stress levels using stuff like the roots, like adaptogens, they actually actively fight against that stress. They find that their brain clears up. They feel like they can focus. They feel like they can think. They feel more productive. So that's a really good one, because just overall it's good for your hormonal health. Now, my other favorite natural nootropic, which is also great for your hormonal health, is called phosphatidylserine, or PS for short. So phosphatidylserine is a natural compound that occurs in, it's made in a human brain. So we have phosphatidylserine naturally in our brain, but when you supplement with it, it actually is neuroprotective, and it protects against neurodegenerative disease. It also helps regulate your HPA axis by lowering cortisol levels, and it increases testosterone production, and there are studies showing all of this. So it's basically one of the best supplements you can take. It's also typically made, just so you know, because I know people are going to ask questions about this, historically People used to extract phosphatidylserine out of cow brains. So that was kind of the source for it. However, after the whole mad cow disease thing, it basically became regulated to use cow brains, and now people can't use cow brains. So what people do is they actually get it out of soy lecithin. So a lot of people wonder, is PS derived from soy lecithin estrogenic? The answer is no. It's actually so far removed and so highly processed at that point that it's actually, no longer contains any of the bad things that soy has in it, because soy has these other compounds in, traditional soy, especially farm soy, that are highly estrogenic and can cause, endocrine disrupting issues. However, those compounds are nowhere near the phosphatidylserine by the time the phosphatidylserine's extracted. So there's really nothing to worry about when you get the phosphatidylserine, a good source phosphatidylserine from lecithin. And just to back up those claims, basically all the studies that researchers do with phosphatidylserine to show all these positive hormonal effects are actually done with this lecithin-derived phosphatidylserine. So it actually has been shown to increase testosterone levels, to lower cortisol levels, and to reverse neurodegenerative disease, which is a huge claim. It might sound insane, but that claim is actually approved by the FDA, so it's legit. There's a lot of human research behind this supplement. So I really, really advise, in terms of dipping your toe in the water with Nootropics and seeing what you can do with it, is if you really want to go the natural route instead of the synthetic route, phosphatidylserine is the way to go, especially in combination with some choline. So knowing all that, and personally I took it for years before I did this, but I ended up making a supplement called Cortigon, and basically it contains a great amount of phosphatidylserine, 150 milligrams. And here's a little insight. Most phosphatidylserine supplements, actually what they list on the label is what you get is only 20% of what they list on the label, because it's got traditionally a 20% yield. However, when we made Cortigon, we specifically had the manufacturer put 100% yield. So what was on the label, listed on the label, is fully 100% the amount of active phosphatidylserine in the supplement, which is a cool thing to know. And that's one thing to know about the supplement industry in general. A lot of people list a certain amount on their label, but they're really only giving you a 10% yield of that or a 20% yield of that to save on cost. But we specifically list what is 100% of that. So we have the phosphatidylserine, we have L-carnitine in Cortigon, we have ginkgo, we have choline and inositol, and DHA. So this is actually an amazing brain supplement, and I highly, highly recommend it for people, especially if you're kind of in your first time and you want to try out a good natural nootropic. You want to lower your stress levels, but also if you just want something daily that's natural, that's not going to pull from your brain the way a synthetic one would. Not going to pull the choline levels out of your brain, but something that is neuroprotective and is going to make you feel good, make you feel calm, smooth focus, and something that you can take all the time without crashing. So that's Cortigon. If you're interested in learning more about it, you can click through and check more out on the next page. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more like this, share it with your friends and family and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.